Hey everyone, Dan McKenzie here with McKenzie Law Firm. We are an estate planning, estate administration, and small business counsel law firm in the Denver, Colorado area. And wanted to make a video today answering a question we sometimes get from clients, which is, how long does the process take, and sometimes why does it take that long? For most clients, our timing seems to work okay. Every once in a while we get a client in who's got something that's really driving them to get an estate plan in place, and it might be a medical event coming up, some sort of surgery that they're worried about. A very frequent situation is where people are going on an international trip and they've been putting the planning off for all this time, and now, this is kind of driving them forward, and they've got only a few weeks before they leave. So sometimes in those situations, they're hoping they can get it done very quickly. And for us, I would say from beginning to end, from the very first time we meet someone to the day that they're signing their documents, probably somewhere between about 7 and 10 weeks on average to get the whole thing done. And people might wonder why, and there are a few reasons. One is, of course, we want to proceed carefully, make sure we've given you enough time to give us the information that we need. And so sometimes people underestimate that a little bit. They kind of assume, I've got a simple family, I've got 2 kids, I just want to leave everything equally to them. There's really not any complications here. They get along, not really expecting any fighting or anything like that, so this should be real simple. And of course, the structure of the family dynamic, it's very important in estate planning, maybe the most important thing, but very, very close second, maybe tied, is your asset structure, and we need to understand that too. And so usually people have a little bit of digging to do just to make sure they've got everything figured out. We need to know, what assets do you own, what real estate, how many bank accounts, how many stock accounts? Do you have stocks outside of accounts? Do you have retirement plans? Do you have life insurance? Is there any personal property? These are really going to drive the plan. What you own and how you have it titled is very important to understanding how those assets would be managed for you if you could not, or distributed to your loved ones if you passed away. And so that's very critical, and usually takes people a little bit of time to figure out. And then we need to review that, and we need to understand, okay, what are you trying to accomplish? Again, understanding your family, and then also what do you have, what are we working with here? And so usually there's a little bit of counseling on figuring out that step and what documents we need to get done, what you want to get done. Are you trying to avoid probate? Do you care about that? Or are we just using a probate process? Do we need a trust somewhere in here? Is the plan based on a trust? If there is a trust, are we leaving assets outright to people? We need to have that conversation with you too. And then we need to go and draft, and of course there's a little bit of back and forth internally here to make sure that we get everything done and handled correctly, and that we're confirming with you that we've got things right. So the little bit of internal back and forth, and then back and forth with you to make sure that we're doing things correctly. And then we meet, like I say, one more time, we do the signing and everything's done. But there are a number of steps, even for seemingly simple situations. With all due respect to our clients, we hear that people are simple a lot. They think they're simple, and they think that because they don't know what makes the administration of estate complicated. And that's what really this is about. It's not so much about the will or the trust. It's about, okay, what would my family need to do to get this done? And sometimes, people have trusts or wills, and they were drafted by an attorney, and it turns out that administering the estate is actually very complicated because they didn't handle things on the asset titling side correctly. And so making sure that you understand all that is just as important as drafting a document that just says, leave everything to my kids equally. That's kind of one part of the whole process. So usually there is a little bit more going on than most people think. But we again, for most of our clients, that timeline works real well. It's pretty rare that we get someone who really feels like they need to rush it faster than that. So, we might be capable of doing that, but for most clients, we like to be careful and really follow a process that we think works pretty well. So hopefully that helps people understand, what to expect. And if you're looking to do an estate plan and are interested in having this conversation with us, we're happy to do so. Again, we're in the Denver, Colorado area. We are the McKenzie Law Firm, and our phone number is 303-578-2745. And I appreciate you watching, and I hope this was helpful. Thank you.